Hey everyone, Mtashed here with my first exotic review of Destiny 2, and today we're going to be talking about the Cold Heart. Now just watch this damage, because this thing is a monster. It's a PvP, PvE, all-around deadly killing machine, and I can't wait to talk about it. So let's just jump right into it. Cold Heart is a unique weapon that shoots out a laser beam of death. I'm telling you, it is super powerful in a lot of situations, and the reason why is because it has a large magazine and this perk, Longest Winter. The longer you're aimed at a target and shooting it, the more damage it will do, exponentially. This makes Cold Heart a boss-slaying monster. Unlike fusion rifles, you do have to aim this weapon and go for the crits, but when you do, you will absolutely tear through your enemies, especially if you have the Empowered Rift. In most situations, any other gun would not kill a boss like this in 2 clips, but the Cold Heart is easily able to, and I don't even have an Empowered Rift down. I think this will be a very solid pick in almost every activity you're doing, and the damage fall off on it isn't that bad. You can actually use this weapon at a pretty solid range, and you don't have to worry too much about it. If I was to compare using Cold Heart to any other weapon, it would just be an auto rifle. It's pretty easy to handle the recoil, it does some decent damage at a range. However, the biggest difference between Cold Heart and an actual auto rifle is if you're switching between targets, most often the auto rifle will actually do better. Cold Heart only shines if you're laying into a boss with a lot of HP and you can maximize the entire magazine. If not, there are just simply better DPS options for PvE. A rocket launcher with cluster bombs. Maybe you've just got a regular fusion rifle. I don't know what the best option is yet, as we're very early into the game, but it's very apparent that 1v1, you versus a boss, the Cold Heart is a killing machine. Now, what about PvP? Is it trash? Oh god, no. This is my new favorite weapon because it's like an auto rifle on steroids when you throw it in the Crucible. The kick or recoil on it is so manageable that even at mid-range, you can laser beam people, where if you were trying the same thing with an auto rifle, you might miss a bullet or two. Yeah, you're gonna miss a bullet or two with this weapon, but with practice, I feel that the skill gap on this, the damage that it outputs, this could be one of the best guns in the game for PvP. I'm not dicking you around here. This gun is phenomenal, and I see so much potential. Because it plays out like an auto rifle, it is rather easy to use, but there are things you can do with this weapon that you can't do with others, such as jumping and 100% accurately shooting your opponent. There is a bit of RNG every time you jump and shoot a gun in this game, but with the Cold Heart, because it's a constant stream of damage, if you jump in the air and you continue to correct your aim, you will stay on target and you will continue to do damage. It's fantastic. Now, would I call this weapon OP? Does this thing need a nerf? Not at all, because it is like an auto rifle, and in most situations, if you're going up against someone with a hand cannon up close, or you're at a distance and someone's using something like a pulse or a scout rifle, you will lose. The optimal time to kill of this weapon, I don't think is broken. I don't think it is OP. But it's easy to use. There's the jumping mechanic you can throw in, and if you're a top tier player, or you're trying to be, if you work on your movement with this gun, you can be very evasive and dodge some of the bullets of the other people. Throw in a crouch, throw in a jump, and this auto rifle type weapon becomes one of the best auto rifle type weapons in the game. But auto rifles, as they sit, aren't the best weapons in the game in every situation, and that's why I think this thing is balanced. There are a lot of situations that the Cold Heart is good, but not all of them. There are some situations where the Cold Heart feels extremely weak, such as at a range where the damage falls off completely, especially in PvE. Sometimes you can't get close enough to the boss to melt it, to lay in 101 bullets into it and do the full damage, and so it starts to feel kind of like an average secondary weapon to have, or energy weapon to have. If there's a bunch of those Cabal dogs, or Dregs, or Scions, or low HP enemies, and you keep having to switch between these enemies, it also feels very underwhelming because the amount of time you have to take to commit to these enemies and kill them with this weapon doesn't feel rewarding. I'd rather use a hand cannon or a scout rifle and kill them in one shot, but this one, I gotta aim down the sights, I gotta waste like 10 bullets to finally kill some pussy Dreg. I think the Cold Heart is fantastic in PvE when you can use it as a boss slayer. I think overall, if you like auto rifles, the Cold Heart can be one of the best auto rifle-like weapons in the game. But it does take a bit of practice, it does take a bit of getting used to, and it's not for everyone. for me, I give this weapon a solid 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, closing in on 9 out of 10 because I find a lot of situations where I like to use it, and my playstyle really gels well with this weapon. But for you, you might hate it. I'd love to know how you feel about the Cold Heart. Leave a comment if you've got to try it. If you haven't, go give this weapon a try. You might fall in love. Maybe you hate it. I don't know. But for me, that's it. That's the review. It's a 7 or 8 or a 9 out of 10, and I like it a lot. I do. I really like the Cold Heart. Hopefully you guys do too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and hopefully I stopped saying hopefully. God damn it, Michael, stop it! Okay, that's it for the video. Thank you so much. I don't do reviews like this often, so hopefully this wasn't terrible, but I plan on making some more soon. Also, I've got a video coming out probably either tonight or tomorrow morning about the God-rolled blue sniper rifle that I found that I'm going to be spamming in PvP for some long-ass time. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.